When we talk about pressure on a young marriage in Georgie and Mandy's first marriage, we usually focus on money, maturity, and unexpected responsibility. But there's another factor that might be the ultimate stress test for Georgie and Mandy, and that's Missy and Sheldon. Because when your last name is Cooper, marriage doesn't just mean blending two people. It means blending chaos, genius, resentment, loyalty, and a whole lot of family history. And that's where things get interesting. We already know from Young Sheldon that Georgie grew up in a house where Sheldon's brilliance dominated the oxygen in every room. That dynamic shaped him more than he ever openly admits. He learned to be the normal one, the overlooked one, the one who had to find his own path without academic praise or constant validation. So when Georgie steps into marriage, he's not just carrying ambition, he's carrying years of comparison. Now add Sheldon back into the picture. Sheldon isn't intentionally destructive, but he is disruptive. His hyperlogical approach to everything, including relationships, clashes hard with emotional nuance. If he questions Georgie's decisions, financial risks, parenting choices, even communication styles, it doesn't come from cruelty. It comes from analysis. But analysis without empathy can feel like criticism. And in a fragile marriage, constant critique, even unintentional, creates tension. For Mandy, that dynamic is even trickier. She didn't grow up navigating Sheldon's personality. She doesn't have the lifelong coping mechanisms the Cooper family developed. So when Sheldon inserts himself into conversations or dissects situations with brutal honesty, Mandy may see it as interference. That creates a subtle wedge, Georgie defending his brother versus protecting his wife's boundaries. And then there's Missy. Missy is emotionally sharp. She reads people quickly, and she isn't afraid to call things out. Unlike Sheldon, her insights come from intuition, not equations. That means if she senses cracks in Georgie and Mandy's marriage, she'll probably address them head-on. Sometimes that honesty helps. Sometimes it makes things worse. Missy represents emotional accountability. Sheldon represents logical scrutiny. Together, they form the ultimate marriage test. Because here's the reality. Early marriage is about building identity as a unit. It's fragile. It needs space. When siblings, especially siblings with strong personalities, remain heavily involved, that space shrinks. Georgie may feel torn between loyalty to his family and commitment to Mandy. Mandy may feel like she's competing with history she can't rewrite. And that's not dramatic exaggeration. That's real. In-law dynamics are one of the most common stress points in young marriages. Add in a genius brother who sees flaws like mathematical errors and a sister who senses emotional shifts instantly, and you've got pressure from both intellectual and emotional angles. But here's the twist. Missy and Sheldon aren't just obstacles. They're mirrors. Sheldon forces Georgie to confront whether his decisions are truly stable or just impulsive pride. Missy forces him to confront whether he's emotionally present or emotionally defensive. If Georgie shuts down under that pressure, the marriage suffers. But if he grows from it, the marriage strengthens. For Mandy, interacting with Missy and Sheldon also becomes a growth opportunity. With Sheldon, she must develop patience and clarity, learning to set boundaries without escalating conflict. With Missy, she has the chance to build genuine sister-in-law solidarity, someone who understands Georgie's emotional blind spots from years of observation. So the ultimate test isn't whether Missy and Sheldon cause problems. It's whether Georgie and Mandy present a united front. Do they communicate privately before reacting publicly? Do they support each other even when siblings disagree? Do they handle criticism as a team instead of turning on each other? If the answer is yes, Missy and Sheldon actually strengthen the marriage. If the answer is no, the cracks widen faster than anyone expects. What makes this compelling is that it ties directly into the franchise's emotional core. The Cooper siblings are bonded by shared history, loss, chaos, survival. That bond doesn't disappear when Georgie gets married. But marriage requires reprioritization. It requires boundaries. And watching Georgie navigate that shift is where the real drama lives. In the end, Missy and Sheldon aren't villains in Georgie and Mandy's story. They're stress tests. They expose weaknesses. They highlight insecurities. They amplify whatever foundation already exists. And in a young marriage, foundations matter more than feelings. If Georgie and Mandy can withstand the combined pressure of logic and intuition, of Sheldon's precision and Missy's perception, then they're stronger than anyone expects. If they can't, then the ultimate marriage test might reveal cracks that were there all along.